I think it's a real shame that the world has come to the point that we point the finger at an industry, any industry, as a matter of fact, and say that industry is the cause of what ails everything. The solution to saving the world is not putting one industry in the ground, it's coming up with solutions for everything.
Well, I suggest that this time our Prime Minister quit his tweeting and humming and hawing and actually enforce the rule of law in Canada. That's the issue. The continued intransigence is doing nothing but harming all of us.
Are you ready to fight for our country's economic future? Look at this turnout on one day's notice. Thousands of hard-working, ordinary Albertans coming together on a cold day to stand up for our future, for our prosperity, for the most ethical producer of energy on the face of the earth. Thank you to the organizers and volunteers for putting this together. Thank you for giving a darn. Thank you for coming out and speaking with your presence to our Prime Minister, to Premier John Horgan, and to all of those enemies of this country's economic progress that are standing in the way of the Kinder Morgan pipeline. Friends, this is not just about a pipeline. This is about what kind of country we live in. If we can't get this project done, it tells us that we are no longer a country based on the rule of law. It tells us that we are no longer a country that believes in internal free trade. It tells us that we are turning our back on a future of prosperity. This isn't just a fight for one project. It's not just a fight for our energy industry. It is the fight for Canada. Justin Trudeau said that he wants to phase out the oil sands. Tax-funded radicals like David Suzuki, he got a big check from a union to come here in Calgary to tell us that we need to shut down our energy industry tomorrow. And these protesters, including Elizabeth May and an NDP MP, getting arrested in British Columbia, they all say they want to shut down our oil and gas industry. Well, that's one locker up chant I could agree with, I'll tell you. But friends, I have to say this. They want to landlock these resources. This is the result of a 10-year-long foreign-funded campaign to landlock the oil and gas of the third largest reserves in the world that are produced according to the world's highest ethical human rights and labor standards on What if they get their way? Having got Justin Trudeau to kill Northern Gateway, having got Justin Trudeau to kill Energy East through the National Energy Board, having had Justin Trudeau surrender when Barack Obama vetoed Keystone XL, having Justin Trudeau do the square root of nothing to get Kinder Morgan built, what if they get their way and they manage to landlock the world's third largest oil reserves? What will happen? Well, we'll continue to lose. In the future, we'll lose hundreds of billions of dollars of value in this resource. What does that mean? That's the ability to pay off our debts, pay for future pensions, pay for health care, pay for education and our quality of living. This isn't the fight for one industry. This is the fight for our future standard of living as Canadians. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will ship or produce one less barrel of oil? No! Do you think the Bolivarian Socialist Republic of Venezuela will ship one less barrel of oil? No! Or the Islamic Republic of Iran that stones women accused of adultery and hangs gay men, where capital has moved from Alberta to gas fields in Iran? Do you think they'll do any less hydrocarbon energy? No! See, here's the point. If the enemies of our economic progress succeed, it simply means that we will hand a monopoly to the world's growing global energy markets, to some of the world's worst regimes. This isn't just about our economy. This is about human rights, and the world is counting on Canada to win this fight. According to the International Energy Agency, there will be a growing global demand for oil and gas through at least the year 2045. So the question is, who will meet that growing global demand? I say it should be the country with some of the world's highest human rights, labor, and environmental standards, and not the OPEC dictatorships. I have a message for my friends on the political left that have been doing everything they can to defame the hardworking men and women in our oil and gas industry. Do they realize that what they've done is ended up subsidizing Donald Trump's economy? We're selling Alberta oil to the Americans at $35 a barrel, and they're now reselling American oil to the rest of the world at now $70 a barrel. Friends, the enemies of our economic progress are turning Canada into a bargain basement economy, and we will not let that happen. Calgary, and by the way, this isn't some economic abstraction. This isn't some political football. This is real people's real lives. You know, a lady came up to me yesterday at a Pakistani community event in Edmonton named Nazia. Her family came here 15 years ago to start a new beginning. Her husband worked as a geologist in the energy sector for many years. And let's hear it for all those great geologists out there. All those great new Canadian professionals like Prasad in this industry. But Nazia came up to me when I told the crowd that TransMountain had been suspended. She came up to me almost in tears, shaking with anxiety and fear for her future, because she said her husband's been out of work for 3 years, and many of her husband's friends are as well. And she said, what does this mean for me? So I say to all of these people from the political left who claim to have a monopoly over compassion, where's the compassion for the tens of thousands of honest, hard-working oil workers in this province? It's time that we had a voice for them as well. We need to spread this message beyond downtown Calgary. If there's one thing you could do, it would be tonight, this afternoon, pick up the phone, call a friend of yours in Ontario or Quebec or British Columbia and tell them what you heard here today. Tell them that this isn't just about Alberta. It is about our future together as Canadians. It is about whether or not we respect the Constitution. Confederation 151 years ago was based on a dream of an economic union, and that dream is under attack right now because of this ideological government in Victoria and the surrender of the Liberal government in Ottawa. So, Justin Trudeau, we have a message for you. We're in this situation because of you, sir. You vetoed Northern Gateway. You killed Energy East. You rolled over on Keystone XL. And now you've brought forward a bill, Bill C-69, designed to shut down any future pipeline projects. Prime Minister, we are asking you to stand up and act like a national leader to unite this country, defend its Constitution, and ensure its free trade. Michelle said, you can do so, sir, right now by bringing forward a parliamentary. In fact, there's already a bill before the Senate, Bill S-245, brought forward by elected Alberta Senator Doug Black, that would invoke Section 9210C of the Constitution Act, the federal declaratory power, by determining that the TransMountain expansion is for the common advantage and that the federal government overrides any future delay tactics by the government of British Columbia. And if British Columbia's NDP won't listen to that, then let's talk Turkey. Last week, the Trudeau government, believe it or not, an Alberta-based minister, Sohi, went to BC and handed the Horgan government a $4.1 billion check for infrastructure. Prime Minister, if you are serious about your statements that this pipeline will be built, if you give a darn about the future of national unity and the future of our prosperity, if you want to preserve federal jurisdiction and respect our Constitution, then pick up the phone, call John Horgan and tell him not to cash that check, not $1 of infrastructure funding going to Victoria until the pipeline is complete. So friends, they do have tools. We've had enough talk. It is time for action. And we have been, we've been predicting what happened on Sunday for months. We've been predicting this for months. The strategy of the enemies of progress isn't to win a court battle. It's death by delay. It's court challenges here, proposed regulations there, NDP municipal governments refusing to grant permits here, illegal protests over there, all of it adding up to uncertainty that shakes investor confidence. And this is why we require national leadership urgently. So, invoke the constitutional power and stop that infrastructure check for $4 billion from going to Victoria. And I'll tell you this, I believe that if the federal government doesn't do these things, then we must have strong Alberta leadership up to and including being prepared to do what Peter Lougheed was in 1980 to turn off the taps. Our quarrel, I'm sure everybody here, many people here were raised in BC, have family, everybody here has family and friends. We love British Columbia. We love British Columbians. And our quarrel is not with ordinary British Columbians. And I want to say thank you to the majority of British Columbians who support the TransMountain pipeline. Our quarrel is not with ordinary British Columbians, but they should hold their provincial government to account for jeopardizing their economic future. And so, friends, if we need to, I would be prepared as a premier to turn off that tap, to send a message that they cannot stop our economic future without there being real consequences. Friends, thank you for coming out. Don't give up the fight. This fight is just starting because we've been going through a tough time, but we're Albertans. We overcome. We struggle and we emerge. This is the province that is strong and free, and with that strength and freedom, we will lead Canada back to prosperity. God bless Alberta.